should be fine, but if you feel yourself spinning all, you might have to put it in 4-wheel drive because that will get a little slick. How's our cord look? That's your problem. You got twin turb skis on a 2.7. Guys, we got a little bit of an impromptu rescue here. Just got a call from my brother-in-law, Skyler. You guys have seen him on the channel. His truck broke down. So we're gonna go get him. But it ought to be interesting because I don't have a winch on this trailer and I don't have a come-along. We're gonna have to get creative. Stay tuned. We've got a truck that's broken down with a very common problem that could happen to any vehicle, and we're gonna show you guys some basic tips, some real simple tools, how to diagnose this problem, how to save yourself some money avoiding the dealership. And along the way, we're gonna tow that vehicle back, so we're gonna discuss how to load it, how to tie it down, and I'm even gonna share with you a couple of nightmare stories that I experienced from the dreaded Stealership. Yeah, I said Stealership. Not totally sure what Skyler's got going on with this truck. If you're a Chevy or Dodge guy, you're gonna appreciate that it's a Ford that's broken down on the side of the road. It is another Ford that's gonna go rescue him. So does that equal? I'm sure you guys will say no in the comments. That's okay. Based on his description, sounds like a voltage issue. I know it's only a 3-day-old battery, but if the alternator's not charging, it could certainly go bad that fast. You know, even beyond your regular starts, which put a lot of load on the battery, these late model cars, they have a lot of electronics. You know, we run our radios, our navigation systems, your sunroofs, you know, all the alarms, the bells, the whistles, power seats, power windows, heck, electric power steering. I'm pretty sure his truck and my truck have electric power steering. So it's just a lot of load. Hopefully it's that simple. Hopefully it's just an alternator. Is that rain? Are you for reals?
Not yet. I picked the best time to break down.
Hey guys, pro tip, get something behind the dovetail so that this thing won't squat when this heavy load comes on. You see I've got the trailer jacks, that's what these will do. That'll keep from the rear of the truck getting lift and possibly going for a ride, because your emergency brake only works on your rear tires unless you put it in 4-wheel drive. A lot of people don't know that. Put it in 4-wheel drive and your emergency brake will actually hold your front tires as well. $900 for an alternator? Is that installed or is that?
That was like
or just a part?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Dude, I bought a wheel hub for Emily's car. It was $260 for a 2-wheel drive wheel hub. It's just crazy. 11.2 volts, so that's definitely a problem. You were drawing it down the whole time.
Every time I took a turn,
even if you turn the radio off, you turn your everything off. Yeah. All the and Ford is like, you know, makes Christmas carols with their chimes. Your serpentine belt's all intact, right? How many miles do you have on it?
110.
It's not new, but it's not old for an alternator. Skyler's truck is not starting. That battery is dead. So, in our best effort and our redneck ingenuity, we're just gonna pull my truck next to his, use my battery with the jumper cables, and see if we can sister drive them right up onto the trailer. This is why I love keeping stuff like this in my truck all the time. Nice and easy. 2-footed if you need to. We took this real slow because his truck just barely fits on the trailer, and obviously my truck was really close to the fenders. So we were trying to get out of here without trading paint or damaging my aluminum fenders, which are not drive-over fenders. You probably can't tell with the video sped up, but this was a herky-jerky process. Every little touch of the brake or gas pedal would shake the trailer, but remember, it's no longer hooked to a vehicle holding it still. In a second, you'll see a maroon Nissan pulls up behind us. I think it's quite clear what we're doing. It's raining, we're loading a truck. We're kind of in a mess right now, and oh, bless his heart, this older gentleman, he's lost, he gets out, he needs directions, and here are 2 guys that can help him. And I want to give a shout out to my brother, Skyler. He's a firefighter here locally, so he knows all of these roads like the back of his hand. But also listen to his gentleness and kindness with this man, despite our current situation. This reminds me of a passage from the good book. Hebrews 13:16 says, "Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God."
You okay? You're looking for directions? What's the address? Oh, that's
You're gonna take a left out here. You're gonna go all the way down. You're gonna cross over, and it's gonna come up to Graves. You're gonna take a right on Graves.
I can go to the hospital.
Like the hospital? Yeah. It's right over there by the hospital.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, have a good day, bud. Good. Ready? Yep.
That's good. Some of you guys are gonna say I should have both sides X'd. There's all different types of theories about that. I have towed plenty where I never did the X. And it was fine. I think the best thing you do is just have good straps. Besides, we're not going far, literally less than 10 minutes. You know, for once, I'm not the one working on something, and I'm happy about that.
So many things.
That's sign now. It's like, you know, more crap, man. More things break. All you're trying to do is, do you have continuity? See how it counts down? Okay. And if there's any resistance. See, oops, see how that counts down? That says that there's continuity.
So,
I think it works, dude. I don't think this is broken. But anyway, go ahead.
money for this guy.
Ad revenue, YouTubers. We're watching a video that Skylar found while I was driving to come pick him up. It's a guy with his same truck who was having similar problems. And for him, it actually wasn't the battery or an alternator. It was a fuse box in his engine bay, this one right here. And more specifically, it was a bus bar where some of the power cables were coming in. This one right here. Well, that bus bar had totally burned out on the back side, and you can't see in this above shot. There are actually little built-in fuses. I don't know the amperage. They look to be pretty big. I'm guessing at least 100 amps. But sure enough, in his video, one was burned out, and we were struggling to get it out of the fuse box. There was a tab somewhere we were missing, so I just told Skylar, let's do a continuity test. This will tell us whether we have a bad fuse, and it was an opportunity to show Skylar how to do that. And ultimately, we confirmed that his fuse box and that bus bar was just fine, and that was later confirmed true when we found the real problem. So if I touch any one of these and it counts down, look, I have continuity through the fuse bar in the back, see? Electronics get crazy when they're on low voltage. Like, they'll do Christmas trees like you got. Like, they'll do silly things. Now, a 12 volt item usually will still work with 11 something volts, but you were still at 11.4. You're kind of getting at the low end of the tolerance. They're all a little bit different. If it was at 10 volts, I would expect nothing to work. But usually at 11.8, 11.9, things will still work, but they just can get silly.
So what do you think's the problem?
I think your alternator shot.
Okay.
But we're gonna figure that out.
Okay.
Because when we start it, we'll find out if your alternator is sending a charge to the battery. In a way, you don't want that to be the problem, because if that for him to burn that like that, that means you got a short somewhere.
Okay.
You don't want to chase the short. You guys comment below if you've had anything like this. I had a grounding issue on my Jeep. Behind the dashboard, a little piece of wire broke. So I took it to the dealership. I couldn't figure it out. It was like the car was dead, like dead. Like the car thought I was stealing it, and I had the key. They had to run it up to what they called the STAR program. This is a Chrysler product, the STAR program, which is basically the engineers that designed the car back at whatever headquarters, whatever manufacturer, wherever those people sit, whatever world, whatever bubble they sit in. We had the engineers telling the mechanics on site, try this, do that, rub your belly, touch your nose, pull your ear, and if this wire does that, that's the problem. And seriously, it took 3 weeks for them to figure out the problem. And it was a bunch of cost and labor, which I negotiated down. Luckily, I knew the owner. And it literally was like one piece of wire that was bad. All right, let's see in the comments below. Give me your best dealership story where you just got totally hosed by the dealership. Actually, I'll give you one more. So I had a boat, and I took my boat into a dealership because the engine kept leaking down. The hydraulic, the trim and tilt, it had an internal leak. There's no fluid leaking outside of the rams. And took it to a certified mechanic. They pulled it all apart, put it back together, and they called me up and said, can't figure it out. Well, I gave up on them after a couple of weeks, so then I took it to another mechanic, and he said, hey, in your box of parts that you have, do you have what looks like a little hockey puck? I said, yes, I do. He said, oh, that's supposed to be inside your ram. The way it worked is it was a dual ram system, so when the ram would go up, there was like a check valve, that hockey puck would come up, and when the motor would try to push back down, it would come up and it would create a seal. And so the only way the motor could go back down is if the pump actually pulled the fluid out from behind it, which would then, through vacuum pressure, would pull that hockey puck and allow the ram to come down. So, certified mechanic forgot to put all the parts back in the trim and tilt. Well, we can put it on start and then fire it. You can turn it over. 12.16 volts, so you're getting no charge from your alternator. Yeah, so watch. For example, if I put this back on, here, hit the charge button. See how that's getting higher?
Yeah.
That's because you got a charger. Here, just grab this right here and take it off, and I'll show you. See, watch, it'll fall. See, the battery starts to rest.
Yep.
Now your alternator will, I mean, it'll generate a lot more amperage than this will, but usually they have a resistor on it that'll cap it off. I don't know if resistor is the right word, but something that will cap it at like 14.4 volts.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with these turbo motors, man. They got all this plumbing in the way. You're a 2.7?
Yeah, I'm a lightweight.
Oh, dude. That's your problem. You got twin turb skis on a 2.7. Actually, I'm kidding. These things pull a lot of weight for a 2.7. It's pretty amazing. I apologize for no sound. Forgot to turn the microphone on. But it's the next day. Skylar got his truck fixed, so I headed over to go get my trailer and pull it forward so he could get his truck off. And then we threw the multimeter back on the battery because I wanted Skylar to see, now that his alternator's working, just how much more voltage it was providing. And in this case, I think it came in at 14.67 volts. So quite a bit more than he was getting even off the charger yesterday, but we thought that would be the case. Well, an impromptu rescue yesterday turned out a happy story. Skylar got his truck all fixed up. Turns out it was just an alternator, and something as simple as a multimeter, guys, was able to determine that and save him a bunch of money. And you know, these things are these are so great to have. I'll put a link for both of these in the description, but you can get a multicolor pack. I just have 2 of the 10 different colors that you can get for like $6, but they're just like extra fingers, extra hands, and great to have, especially for something like this. So, you know, buy this stuff, guys. Be willing to learn, be willing to try things on your own. The power of YouTube. I mean, Skylar was able to fix his alternator, never having done it before, through YouTube. So credit to those people who are willing to put videos up like that to help us out. And all of that was even possible because I have this car hauler. Guys, if you ever get a chance to grab something like this, especially for a low price, do it. You won't regret it. You'll use it for a million things. Yesterday was just another example of how it will save you money. In fact, I'll put a link in the description to one of my friends, Jesse Horton. He just picked up a trailer for, I think, $600. It was basically the cost of steel, with a little bit of elbow grease and some rattle can paint. And I think he did a diesel fuel and oil rub on the wood. I mean, it really looks fantastic. I mean, credit Jesse, awesome job. But that's just a perfect example of where if you're looking and you're willing, you can pick something up cheap and you can get that thing working for you and saving you a lot of trouble, headache, and money. This was an unplanned video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, smash that like button for me, guys, and think about subscribing. We use this trailer and the dump trailer behind me for all kinds of DIY projects that I think you will enjoy. Remember, guys, spend time with your creator. He wants to hear from you. Tell him thanks, ask him for help. He loves you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.